One family in northeast Denver is stacking up loads of marijuana in the hope of becoming the biggest pot retailer in the United States. When Colorado officially opened its doors and legalized the sale of marijuana at the beginning of the year, a new industry was born. Pete Williams, the COO of Medicine Man, hopes to eventually grow his budding business into a nationwide enterprise.
I want to have a Medicine Man in every state that's legal, and I think every state eventually will at least go medicinal legal if they don't want to lose all their residents. So I want to have Medicine Man be the Costco, or I like to say the Kleenex of marijuana, because there's Kleenex and there's generic.
The passing of the law opens up an unprecedented commercial cannabis market that Colorado officials expect will ultimately gross $578 million in annual revenues, including $67 million in tax receipts for the state. Local economists like Mac Klaus, a professor at the University of Denver's Daniel College of Business, says that the pot industry is so far creating jobs and having a multiplier effect. He expects it won't be too long before Colorado becomes a model for other states.
Classical economic thought suggests that if something turns out to be a pretty good deal and profitable and seems to be working well, it'll attract entry. And so if the Colorado experience turns out to be not as dramatically bad as some people predicted, if it turns out to be just a pretty normal business after a while and becomes accepted and runs smoothly, then I think you're going to see a lot of states saying, wow, that was a nice way for them to get $40 million for schools. That would solve some of our problems as well. Maybe we better look at this.
Many banks have refused to do business with pot retailers, as marijuana remains illegal under federal law. Banks fear they could end up on the wrong side of federal regulations and even be accused of money laundering. So that means that a lot of the pot industry in Colorado has become a cash-only business. Nevertheless, Pete Williams is looking forward.
My future's so bright, I've got to wear shades.
The trend looks set to continue, with Washington State to begin allowing the sale of recreational marijuana this summer, while Washington, D.C., the U.S. capital, is making moves toward decriminalization as well.